YouTubies. I hope I'm broadcasting. This is Psychic Bob, woo, also known by my Wiccan title of Lord Icyon. I have a lot of names and titles. While I'm in England, I'm a British baron, and I call myself Lord Paravel. But then by Wiccan night, I'm Lord.
Turn your crown the other way.
I got it upside down. All right. So my British title is Baron of Paravel. My Wiccan title is Lord Icyon. Most people just call me Psychic Bob. You can call me whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late to supper. Well, I'm so glad you guys are here. Oh, gosh, I'm telling you, it's been a busy day here for us. Oh, my goodness. Lamb Chop stayed in bed all day and he's still sleeping. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you didn't see today's video. Guess where Cola and I went? We got excited and inspired and decided to go to the Tower of London. We did. We went out. I put a video up earlier today. If you haven't seen it, go to the video section of my channel. Now, YouTube is splitting out videos and live streams, so they're not in the same place anymore. So if you didn't see that, definitely go to my channel and look up the videos. I'm generally most days doing 2 videos a day. One taped video and then a live show. So you get Psychic Bob twice a day. So we did have an earlier video. If you didn't see it, definitely check it out after tonight's show. Went to the Tower of London. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But first of all, I want to say welcome to the show. My name is Bob Hickman. You have landed at Spirit Channel. And tonight is Wiccan Wednesday. Now we're going to have an interesting topic tonight. And it's funny because I didn't really plan this to coordinate. Last night when I told you guys on the show, I said we're going to go talk about the magic of gems. I wasn't even thinking about going to the Tower of London today, but we ended up, because our schedule changed, we ended up having time to go to the Tower of London. And you want to talk about seeing some gemstones.
I was feeling it, Bob. I was feeling
Cola was feeling it, and I'm telling you, we've been having
the energy in that in the Tower of London is just amazing.
Yes.
Couldn't go into the tower, correct?
No, the energy was really intense there. I was getting freezing cold. We picked up spirit activity. We're going to have another video.
I wouldn't stop running. I was sneezing.
We had ghosts. Cola and I were like sneezing. And we're going to do another video soon about our paranormal discoveries at the Tower of London. We did have some paranormal stuff happen. I think I'm going to do a whole video just on that. We captured some of it today, and as we've analyzed our footage, we found a lot more stuff going on than we realized at the time. So we got that coming for you in the coming days. We got a lot of adventures. Psychic Bob is live in London, and so we got more for you. Don't worry. I'm still in the UK. For those of you who are just tuning in and haven't been here a while, I am broadcasting tonight live from London, and I'm in King's Cross, London, which is an exciting place. And I'm traveling around the United Kingdom, and might go over to France too, and we'll see. But right now I'm in the UK, and I'm with Baroness Cola Bobs, who, by the way, is our moderator. Thank you, Baroness.
Of course, because I'm your girl.
She's my girl too. Yeah, I know. I spoil her rotten. Well, I got to tell you a funny story about Psychic Bob today, not being too clued in. As many of you know, I'm on vacation right now, and I didn't tune in my psychic senses. And I'm telling you guys, if you learn a lesson from Psychic Bob, I didn't tune in my psychic senses today, and boy, I paid a price for it.
Because you didn't listen.
I didn't listen to Cola. Cola's, she always tries to take care of me. She tries to warn me about stuff.
Because I pick it up before I get there, wherever I'm going, I always pick up something.
And
I mind that something's not right.
Yeah. Well, last night, I wasn't hungry. We had a big lunch, and I didn't eat dinner, and then I didn't eat breakfast. And on the way to Tower of London, I got kind of lightheaded. I'm like, you know what? I need to eat some food. And Cola's like, well, let's just wait. We'll find a little cafe at the Tower of London. She said, I heard they have restaurants and cafes. I was like, no, we got to go right now. She's like, we're literally at the Tower Line. You can just go over there. Well, I wouldn't listen to her. I was being pig-headed. And I rush up, and I found the stand. It's in my video today. You see I bought some hot dogs. Well, I don't know if anybody in America's had this experience, but all I bought was 2 hot dogs and 2 cups of hot chocolate. That's it.
But what did I say? No, Bob, you don't need a hot dog. Come on.
And she said to me, don't buy a hot dog. We can get better food at the tower. I said, I don't feel like it might be big lines. I wasn't listening. I was not tuning in. Okay, this is a lesson for all you aspiring psychics. I, as a psychic,
I was tuned in, though.
Cola
I
was,
knew what was going to happen from a mile off.
Cola was tuned in, but I wasn't, because I'm
tell
just.
you what it is, so Bob's, he saw you coming.
They saw me coming. So the guy rings up my order, right? I was really tired. I wasn't paying. I handed my credit card to him, and I get the receipt. Guess how much 2 hot dogs and 2 hot chocolates cost? That's all we had, hot dogs. Literally, just like 30 pounds.
He was nearly crying.
Which is close to $40. Yes, Psychic Bob got taken. I got taken. God, I didn't believe it.
The word Royal Scott.
30 pounds, close to approximately $40 US. I paid for just 2 hot dogs. $40. Do you know anywhere in America that would sell? These are not gourmet. We didn't have anything on them, just ketchup.
I could have made you hot dogs every day for a week.
Cola could have made me hot dogs every day of the week for 3 pounds, which is about $5. So I spent close to $40 today for 2 hot dogs and a cup of hot chocolate.
You got scammed.
I got scammed. Anyways, you live, you learn. Even Psychic Bob has an off day. So I should have listened to Cola. I should have tuned in my psychic sense. But no, I just wanted to float through the day.
No, Bobs, you wanted to stick a hot dog in your cup.
I did want to have a hot dog. Anyways, I learned the hard way. But I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. And Cole and I had a great time at the Tower Alone. If you haven't seen the video, go to the video section of my screen and go see it. We went. Unfortunately, I couldn't film the crown jewels. They have guards there, and they said, please put away your cameras. No photos of the crown jewels room is allowed. I don't know why. I mean, many people go there, but they won't allow. So I wasn't able to film the one thing I wanted to show you guys. But I will say it was beautiful, and I loved it. And you'll still see a lot of ancient history there. So I'm just glad you guys are here. Let's see who all is here today. There's Scott from South Carolina. Hey, Scott. It says Royal Hot Dogs. You know, Scott, the funny part of that video, I'm joking. I said, Cole are outside having our high-style lunch. And I was just joking until I looked at the receipt, and I was like, they gave me the wrong receipt. $40 for 2 hot dogs. I got taken. Anyway, there's Christine C. Yay, hey, Christine. There's Lady Jane, the Earl Grey tea tray. She's laughing. Lady Jane is British, so she knows how I got taken.
You got scammed, Bobs?
I got scammed. Yeah. Robin busted. That's horrible. You know, Robin, and went through the bank of Peru. I can't get it back. $40 for 2 hot dogs.
Next time you want a hot dog, just tell us and I'll make you a hot dog.
I know. Next time, Cola's going to make me a hot dog. Should have just packed our lunch and brought it. Anyways, hey, there's TGVG's here. Yay, Under the Earth says, wow, that's crazy. Shame on them for doing that to you. You know what? I was in such a rush. I didn't pay attention, didn't tune in. So it's my fault, too. They were bad, but I was bad, too.
London, you've got to pay London prices.
Well, I think that's too much for London. All right. Anyways, there's Amy Radcliffe. Hey, Amy. There's there's Beach Sunsets. Hello. Welcome. Christine says the hot dog guy saw a sucker. Boy, did he ever. You know, Amy, if it was like a gourmet hot dog, like the big, giant, thick ones with a special quality, this was a thin little waspy hot dog that didn't have anything to it. But
it was a giant hot dog, but it was just too small.
No, the American ones are much bigger, believe me, for gourmet. And they're cheaper, too.
But didn't I say to you, though, ask him what the price is and he totally ignored
I know. She said, demand to know the price, because I just assumed my mistake. Because I live in Washington. Let me just give you some background. I live in Washington, D.C. We have these vendors all over our city. But in D.C., hot dogs are cheap. The most you pay for a hot dog is like $3 or $4. So that's in my mind what you're going to pay. It's funny because even downtown D.C., it's cheap to eat at these little vending stands. And they did look good. The guy was very friendly, very clean. Everything was nice about it until I got the bill. So you live, you learn. Anyways, Shannon Turner says, hi, Shannon says, the footlongs in Vegas are $1. See, that's how it is in America. Hot dogs are cheap. So I wasn't expecting $20 hot dogs for each hot dog. Anyways, that's life. You live, you learn, right? So Psychic Bob got taken. And you know what? We all get taken at some time. Well, tonight I'm glad you guys are here. He saw me coming.
I think he was psychic, you know.
I think he was psychic. And he said, there's a psychic. Well, American will get it. Anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. You know, and Scott from South Carolina says, a hot dog to remember. Yeah. Boy, I'll never forget this one, you know. Baroness Colwell, don't remind me, but Baroness says 8 giant hot dogs in a jar and 12 hot dog buns. No more than 3 pounds for my slim is about $5. Well, you live, you learn. Anyways, I'm just glad you guys are here. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope you'll go watch the video because you can visibly see my 40-pound hot dogs. Anyways, I'm glad you're here. It's Wiccan Wednesday. For those of you who are new here, welcome. Every Wednesday we gather. I happen to be a spiritualist and a Wiccan. Yes, I practice both religions. And I like to talk about
and
Wiccan.
And a sucker to the English.
And a sucker to the English. No, most English have been very good to me. I can't say
but that was no need of it.
But he wasn't English. He was foreign, I think. So,
no, wasn't he?
Was he English? Well, anyways, you live, you learn. But anyway, so tonight we're going to talk about mystical, magical gems. Now, let me preface this by saying I can't cover every single gemstone that exists. So we're going to start with a few, and then we can explore a little more here, you know. Beach Sun says, we can learn from your ability to let it roll off your back and move on and ask first. I learned today. I'm telling you, I've been paranoid everywhere I go. I'm like, what's the price of that? What's the price of that? At the Tower Lunch, I made him tell me twice the price. I'm like, are you sure that's the price? I was so freaking paranoid. Anyways, there's Melinda Torrey says, hi, Psychic Bob. Hi, Baroness Cole Bobs. Love and light and many blessings for you both always. Thank you, Melinda. Blessings to you. Amy Radcliffe says, I watched the video. I hated that you couldn't record the crown jewels. You know, Amy, it just shocked me. I've got to tell you, of all this, like, that's the whole reason for going there, to see the crown of England. And then they hide it away and you can't show it to anybody. I was real upset. And they're really strict. They have guards, literally. And if you even look like you're reaching for a camera, they come over. Like, it's really serious. So I didn't even want to risk it because I thought they're going to arrest me. I broke the rules. I'll be banned from the tower. They don't play around. I saw them approach one lady because she was just reaching in her pocket to get something. She had her camera. They're like, no cameras. And they came over and she was like all freaked out. So I didn't want to risk it. I don't know why, you know, I mean, it's not going to be a national security. There's so many people go through that. Anyways, but it was amazing. It's worth the sight. Well, anyways, I'm just glad you guys are here. And I thought we'd start tonight. You know, every week we talk about astrology on Mondays. Mondays are astrology day. And if you haven't been here, definitely go back and see Monday's video because I gave horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs and all the major astrology. A lot of you are asking me about my bracelet that I'm wearing, and I'm wearing it again tonight for you guys. This is an actual jeweled bracelet. I'm going to take it off so it's easier to see here. And, hold on a second, there it is. This is a bracelet of real gemstones from India. And I love, this is one of my favorite pieces of jewelry because it's all real gems and they're beautiful. It wasn't a cheap bracelet. It cost me a bit of money, but it's been worth it. Over the years, I've had it for a few years. But I wanted to talk about, first of all, what it is. In India, okay, just, you know, we're talking about the magic of gems. Every culture has gemstones and beliefs in gems. Thank you, Melinda. She said that's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to explain what all this means. What's that? I couldn't see it. Melinda Torney said, absolutely 100% beautiful. Lady Jane of the Tea Earl Grey teacher says Sainsbury's meal deals are nice. Okay. Sanjit Sharon Lali says, hi, Bob and Cole. Love you both. Your vlogs make my day always. And thanks. Love always. Thank you, Sanjit. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll enjoy tonight as well. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm so glad. I'm so touched that anybody even turns up, you know. When I started YouTube years ago, I just thought nobody's going to watch. And I've been very lucky to have so many good friends here. Thank you to you. Sanjeet says, my pleasure always, Baroness Goldbobs. You're both amazing and you're beautiful.
I life, didn't I?
So
I was
wonderful.
just telling you, Jack and Ori.
There you go. All right.
Throw a coin in and you can send the souls over there. Not a stuck in purgatory.
All right. Well, we did prayers for the souls of purgatory today. So if you didn't see that, when you see it, say a prayer, okay? Anyways, I want to talk about these gems. I want to talk about them from the Eastern perspective and the Western perspective. In India, people believe that the planets, we're talking about astrology, emit rays of energy on the earth, and that these people, humans, are sensitive to these rays. I think that's true, and I think that's a factor also in Western astrology. Thank you, Robin. Robin says, I feel like you're a family, Bob. I do too, Robin. Thank you.
Yeah, she's like me. She's like me, Mom.
She's really like our family.
Yeah.
I feel the same. So,
my third mom, because I've already got number 2. Like,
yeah, no, she got a lot of moms.
and a lot of sisters.
And a lot of sisters.
And a million cousins.
And a million cousins. All right, cool. She got a whole family watching. So, in the East, okay, they believe that the planets emit rays of energy down on people, which I do believe. And it's also believed kind of in the Western astrology as well. Some of the planets' rays influence us. But in India, what they do is when they do an astrology chart, they can see what planets are placed in your chart in a challenging position. So, for example, if Saturn, okay, is placed in a challenging position, like it shows that you're going to have struggle in life. Like, for example, Saturn can be self-judgment or harsh interactions with authority figures. All right. So you look at somebody's chart like, oh, that Saturn influence is going to be a struggle throughout their life. What an astrologer in India would do is they would say, we want you to wear this gemstone, blue sapphire. And they would tell you wearing blue sapphire negates or at least lessens the influence of Saturn. Okay. Cole, did you see what Scott just did? Scott, you're great. Scott from South Carolina said $10 for a jar of hot dogs. Oh my God, Scott.
Nearly crying, Scott, because he got ripped off.
Oh my God, Scott,
Says,
you're
crying,
awesome, man.
You bet the hot dog now you can't do nothing.
Thank you, Scott. We're definitely gonna get some hot dogs compliments of you. Thank you. You're awesome, dude. I love it. Oh my gosh. So as we were saying, right? So an astrologer in India, I'm never going to live this down, am I, Cole? No. And now I've told on myself. So y'all know how stupid Bob was. Anyways, even psychics sometimes have an off day. I had an off day. But anyways, I'm glad you guys are here and support me through all this insanity. I was okay when I got back. Cola made me a cup of tea and put her arm around me and says, it's going to be okay. And I had Mexican food for dinner. So in India, okay, so if you have Saturn in your chart, and it's not a favorable line, an astrologer in India would say, wear the color blue sapphire. This is actually a blue sapphire in this ring. It looks black, but it's actually blue if you get the right lighting. There you can see it's a little more blue. Anyways, so that's what you would do. You would wear a bangle. They usually believe that you should wear it on the right wrist. A bangle. When men wear it on the right, women wear it on the left. Don't ask me why. That's a whole nother issue. But the gemstone sapphire would negate the influence of Saturn in your chart and give you a better advantage. Well, a lot of people in India believe this. I think there's truth to it myself, actually. But a lot of people say, well, what if the astrologer messed up? What if he didn't give us all the right chart? What if we're not sure or something changes and we miss something? So somebody in India, very wise and smart, said, well, we'll make a bracelet and it will have all the 9 gems of the zodiac. Now, let's say, for example, all right, we'll use this one. Hold on, where to find it? Ruby. Okay, ruby represents the sun. Okay. And let's say that the sun is not favorably placed in your chart, it shows harsh alignments, right? So traditionally, you'd wear a ruby charm or ruby bracelet to negate that, just like we talked about Saturn. But an astrologer thought, well, even if it's not badly placed, the gemstones can't hurt, they can only help. So they created a bracelet of the 9 aspects of astrology that affect everybody. And they said, well, by wearing all 9, you'll be made sure to be covered. It's kind of like insurance policy, right? You can't go wrong. You're covered totally. And so I wanted just to kind of break down a little bit on these gemstones. If you're interested in this is called Navaratna. Let me just put it in the chat. It's from India. And you can, they make pendants and bracelets. Nava, Navaratna, Navaratna. And that means the 9 gems of the zodiac. I just put in chat so you guys can get the spelling and know, write down what that is. So here are the 9 gems, and I thought I'd just talk about these, and then we'll also talk about the Western magic of gems. So the planet, emerald is one of the gems, and emerald affects the planet Mercury. So if you have like trouble all the time, Mercury retrograde, Indian astrology would say wear emerald. This is an actual emerald. All of these are real gemstones, by the way. So I have an emerald here, okay? Now, the next stone, so emerald rules the planet Mercury in the Indian tradition, okay? We're going to stay with India for right now. And emerald will help you if you have Mercury challenges in your astrology. Okay.
In England, they reckon emeralds are bad looking, and if you're going to get married or anything like that, never ever buy the wife for emeralds. It's supposed to be unlucky.
Oh yeah. Now that's the Western. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But did you guys hear what Cola said? She said it's interesting because in India they're good luck, but in the West, if you're going to get married, you're not supposed to buy your spouse an emerald before the wedding, or it's like it'll curse the marriage. I personally don't believe that because I love emeralds, but I guess some people believe that. But in India, emerald will protect you from negative influence of Mercury. Okay. Yeah, I like emeralds too. Okay. Cola says I don't have to buy her emeralds. Whew, just scraped out a $10,000 there.
I'll have a ruby instead.
So, Cola wants a ruby. Well, I knew I was going to get taken one way or the other. So now this next stone is yellow sapphire. This is a real sapphire. Sapphires, by the way, can come in all different colors. The most famous is blue. Yellow sapphire governs the planet Jupiter. And as we know, Jupiter regulates our wealth and blessings. So if you have negative Jupiter aspects in your astrology, wearing yellow sapphire will counteract that, okay? The next stone is the cat's eye. Okay, cat's eye is a wonderful gemstone. And this would be the equivalent of the south node. Now, remember in astrology, the south node is the alignment of the moon at its lowest point. This is kind of hard to explain. Anyways, when the planets are aligned, as the moon goes through its elliptical orbit, when it's at its lowest point in the chart, it's called the south node. South node is the node that deals with past life karma, past life issues, bringing over your kind of karma from former lives. So if an astrologer looks at your chart and says, oh, you've got a lot of bad past life karma that's coming over, they would say wear cat's eye because that will negate that south node influence. Okay. All right. Now, the next stone is diamond. This is actually a real diamond from India. And this is the governs the planet Venus. Okay, so if you have Venus, let's say you have relationship problems. The astrologer says, you're never going to be lucky in love, going to be challenges, it's going to always be trouble. They would advise you to wear a diamond. Luckily, I think you only have to have one gemstone. You don't have to have a whole bracelet of diamonds, but just one gemstone will work for you. So this negates problems in love and relationships. Then we have, of course, we've talked about this briefly. This is the ruby. This is an actual ruby from India. And ruby is related to the sun. Now, in the Western zodiac, the sun is the most powerful influence. That's why we have our sun signs. And so that ruby helps regulate sun energy. If you have a challenging sign and all your alignments are messed up, all because your sun side's not aligned, that will negate that, okay? And then here is blue sapphire, which we said goes with the planet Saturn. So again, Saturn is unfavorably aligned, means you're going to have trouble with authority figures, trouble with control. You'd wear blue sapphire. And then this next color, or stone, excuse me, is garnet. It's a red garnet. It looks similar to ruby. Ruby's a little brighter.
Yeah.
Garnet's a little dark. Cola loves garnet. We both love garnets, Cola and I do.
I've got a Tudor rose, but it's got red garnet in.
Yeah, I love garnet. Now, garnet is the stone that deals with the north node. Now, the north node is, again, when the moon is at its highest position in your chart. That is the north, we call that the north node. The north node in astrology affects our destiny, what we're here to do, our goals. So if your north node is challengingly, placed in a challenging way, and you think it's going to be hard for you to make your goals, you would wear garnet in India. And that garnet, that red one there, right there, will help you overcome that. It negates the negative influence of the north node. And then this here is coral. And you don't see a lot of coral anymore. A lot of people don't mine coral because, as scientists discovered, coral is actually a living entity. It's a living organism. But for a long time, people didn't know that. So they would mine coral, not realizing they were creating some environmental harm for the oceans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I have that bracelet?
No. I love you, but I'll get you one. I'm not giving this up. This is my favorite jewelry. What? No, you can't.
Because Scott from South Carolina just says he saw one just like yours for $4,000.
I believe it. Some of them are expensive. This one I didn't pay a lot for. I paid it probably a few $100s for it because it's real gems. I think I paid
It's too big,
But I love this. And Cole, I love you, but I'll buy you your.
I don't want it.
All right.
I wouldn't wear one of them, babes.
Okay. Now, this is coral, and coral is corresponding to the planet Mars. So again, if Mars is a challenge in your life, you wear red coral, and that negates a lot of that, at least helps balance it. And then who can guess what this last one is? This is a pearl. This is a real pearl. And what do you think pearl might be connected to,
The sea.
Huh?
The sea.
It could be the sea.
The water energy.
Maybe that's part of it. What planet might the pearl be connected to? Anybody want to guess?
One that's got water on.
Maybe not. Well, not in this case. The pearl represents the moon. So if you're having challenges with the moon, you'd wear pearls in India. Okay. Scott said, I saw a bracelet like Bob's for $4,000. Better not tell Lamb Chop. Oh, listen, I have to lock up my jewelry in a safe because Lamb Chop go crazy over it. So, Vivian P., did you see garnet? You used to say, Bob, have you done garnet yet? Let me just back up. I'll show you garnet here if you weren't here for that. There's garnet, and garnet affects the south node in our chart. The north. It's the north. Yeah, garnet's north node. Hold on, I got to check. I can always get them backwards. Yeah, garnet is ascending node. In an Indian Vedic astrology, it's called Rahu, which means the north node. But there's my garnet in there. It's beautiful, deep red garnet. And garnet is the north node is the part of our chart that deals with our destiny while we're here. And if an astrologer looks at your chart and says, your destiny, it looks like you have a destiny, but you're going to have trouble accomplishing your goal, they would have you wear garnet to help balance that out. So some astrologer somewhere in India said, well, why don't we just make a bracelet and have everybody wear all the gems, and that way they're covered. I actually think that's smart because I've never had my chart done by a Vedic astrologer. I do Western, it's called tropical zodiac astrology. But a Vedic astrologer might look at my chart and have a slightly different interpretation. And so, the idea is if you wear all the gems, one, they can't hurt you, they can only help you. So even if you have Mars favorably aspected on your chart, wearing coral won't block that or hurt it. It will only enhance it. So we want to kind of, think about it. So this is why I encourage people, you might want to explore a Navaratna bracelet. Now, they're not all expensive. You can find cheaper ones. They make them in sterling silver. They make them in gold. The best ones, honestly, come from India. You might be able to find some in the United States, but either they'll be imported from India or they'll be kind of chintzy made. I think the best ones are from India. I ordered this from India and I love it. So, if you're interested in astrology and the magic of gems, this is a great way to start to bring that influence into your life, Thank you, Bear. Bear says Bob has some fab jewelry. Thank you. And I think it's all probably going to her soon, isn't it?
I don't want you to Bob's.
Anyways, now, from the Western perspective, we also have what we call the birthstones. And this is where it gets a little tricky with gemstones, because some astrologers talk about the birthstone for the sign and some assign it to the month. And they're not exactly the same. So, for example, if you're doing it for the month, for example, they say January, the stone for January is garnet. Now, Kola is a Capricorn, okay?
So is lamb chop.
Right, lamb chop's not a Capricorn. Lamb chop's an Aries.
Looks like a bloody ram. So
he's a Aries. Anyways, so we're gonna have this debate forever about lamb chop, aren't we? But
I've got lamb chop at the minute, man.
So Capricorn falls during January predominantly. And so many Capricorns wear the gemstone garnet, but it's also assigned Aquarius. Now, interestingly, Aquarius was traditionally assigned to amethyst, but that's because a large part of it falls during February. But many people say amethyst is related to Pisces. So when you're talking about birthstones, there's not just one answer because it depends on how you interpret it. It's for the sign or the month. Personally, I tend to just go with the sign. That's just me. But a lot of the birthstones for the Western zodiac are also in the Navaratna bracelet. Like, for example, emerald is for Gemini in the Western zodiac. And we don't have yellow sapphire, but we do have topaz, which is similar, golden yellow stone for Sagittarius. Okay, we don't have cat's eye in the Western zodiac that I'm aware of. Unless somebody knows, I might be missing. Diamond is oftentimes associated with the sign of, oh my gosh, I'm blanking out. What does diamond for, Cole? Is that?
Diamond's for your wife, Bob.
Well, maybe for my wife, but diamond, I think, is for, oh gosh, I should know this of all people.
Actually, tiger's eye, they used to use them in like back in ancient times.
Tiger's eye?
Build the mosques.
Yeah.
They would decorate the mosques in like a beautiful tiger's eye.
Wow, that's
all
beautiful.
The way around, and that's why they were so beautiful.
Tiger's eye, that's interesting. Well, anyways, I'm blanking. I believe it's the month of April, which could be Gemini, maybe. No, Gemini's emerald. I'm blanking. Maybe it's Taurus's diamond. Anyways, guys, I'm blanking out on this. I should know this. April's Aries. Thank you. Maybe diamonds for Aries. Aries or Taurus. All right. Then we got ruby. Okay. Which in the Western zodiac, ruby is associated with what can be a number of ones. It can be associated with Leo, I think, and some other ones. Diamond is June, Robin says. See, I totally blank on this.
It's diamond June.
I always get them confused because I read so many different things and everybody's book is different. I get them confused in my head.
I think a diamond can be beautiful.
Yeah. Then we got blue sapphire. Now, blue sapphire is oftentimes associated with Sagittarius or the month of December, but it didn't actually use blue sapphire. They usually use blue zircon. So again, you have to interpret it. Garnet, again, for January, for Aquarius and or Capricorn. Coral, I don't know who uses coral.
Be for Capricorn or Aquarius.
Right, that's what I said. Garnets can be for Capricorn or Aquarius. I don't know that we have coral in the Western zodiac. But we do have pearl. Pearl is associated with the sign of Cancer because it's a moon sign. So many Cancer signs like moon. Blue sapphires for September. Okay, so that could be a Libra stone possibly. Anyways, it's confusing because they keep changing it. And I just read a chart recently where they said the British Gem Association, what do they call it? Jewel Association, put out a new listing that is different than the American listing. And then there's an ancient listing from the ancient Babylonian times. So as we go through history, the gemstones change. And this is one of the things that I would encourage you to do if you want to work with astrology gems. Just buy a Navaratna bracelet because then you cover so many things and you'll be blessed. But if you want something specific to your sign, study the list and don't just read with one jeweler. Go through jewelry sites. A lot of jewelry sites give the history of the gems and they'll give you listings and decide which one is for you because there's like 3 different versions. There's the traditional, the ancient, the modern, the British, and the American. So find the one. People say, well, Bob, how do I know which one's right? Find the one that speaks to you. If you have a gem that's really talking to you, that's going to be your lucky gem, and that'll give you power. You see, I really believe that gemstones are kind of like batteries. They just add extra energy to our well-being, you see. Now, speaking of gems, there's a lot of ways to have magical gems in your life, Like, for example, I got this stone when I was in Glassware. This is a green onyx stone. And this is for healing, prosperity, health. But isn't it beautiful? It's a cabochon. It's a real green onyx set in silver. And it's a ring that I bought, I just felt drawn to it. And what's interesting is when I was in Glassware, I was getting over a bronchial condition. And I just felt drawn to this. And green is a healing stone. So, I always say sometimes gemstones come into our lives to heal us, to help us with whatever we need at the time. Amy Radcliffe says blue sapphires for September. Okay, well, there we go. All right. Lady Jane says coral. Yeah, coral is for Mars in the Vedic astrology. Yes. So I think, when we talk about gemstones, it's really something kind of personal. And I'm not a psychic who says, well, you're a Capricorn, you must wear garnet.
I always believed that my birthstone when I was a kid for Capricorn was amethyst, so I had bought loads of amethyst.
Yeah.
It's nice to wear that kind of jewelry.
Yeah. Well, see, I think that it comes down to the soul connection to the gem. And I think that traditionally a lot of signs did connect to the gem, to the energy of the gems based on their sign. But I don't think it's an exclusive truth. So if you're like, let's say that you're an Aquarius and you just don't like red garnet. And you're like, well, I have to wear red garnet because I'm an Aquarius. Actually, you don't. Because if you research it, traditionally the gemstone for Aquarius was amethyst. Maybe you try an amethyst and say, you know what, that really resonates for me. So I just want to encourage you, don't get trapped in just because some jeweler says it. And I'm going to tell you a secret here now. I'll probably get in trouble with some of the jewelry stores, but I'll risk it. I believe personally that a lot of this is marketing hype. I'm not convinced that the jewelers truly know all the gemstones. Some of them that are smart have studied it, but I also think it's like, oh, you know what? We just got an extra shipment of this gemstone. We'll push it as a birthstone. I think some of it's marketing. And I really think with gems, it's really got to be a personal connection. So if you're an Aquarius or Capricorn and you just don't connect to garnet for whatever reason, don't feel like you have to wear it to draw power into your life. Because if you're not feeling it, you're not getting the blessing of it anyways. And maybe you're an Aquarius and you love amethyst, or maybe you like, pearl, right? Is it traditional Aquarius to wear this? No. But if it works for you, you'll draw power from it and it'll enhance you in doing magic and just being overall attuned to your psychic energy. Because remember this, gemstones, and I really believe this, are batteries. They're enhancers to power. So if you're feeling it, the gemstone will be dealing it. See what I'm saying? And if you're not feeling it, your gemstone's probably not dealing it. So you get the gem that you feel connected to. But studying the birthstones in the Navaratna gives you at least a place to begin with it, you see. Now, while we were in Glastonbury, Cola had a psychic vision about going to a store. And we went in the store, and it really was a magical thing, because I've got something to show you. She bought this. And this is a beautiful, I don't know if it's clean, we got a lot of glare. It's a selenite crystal ball. This is a real crystal. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's just luminous and glows. She loves the gemstone selenite. She does a lot of work with Artemis.
My favorite is Lemurian.
Yeah, she loves Lemurs, but she's been doing a lot of work with the goddess Artemis. Yeah. And this is the stone of Artemis. Isn't that wonderful?
Shop just hidden away.
We didn't even see the shop. We were just watching. She had this compulsion, like, let's go down this. It was one of those little alleyway places that are all over England. And she found a shop, and it was a wonderful mystical lady who sold her this. And it's just, do you see that? Look, Holly, can you see this? It's showing here. It's luminous. Do you see how this luminous? This is a moonstone. This is selenite. Selenite is similar to moonstone.
It still glows like.
But this is not a trick. This is actually what the gem does. It glows. You see how that's glowing?
It's good for communication. There's angels.
It helps with angelic communication, spirit communication.
Use it to protect yourself.
Protection, lunar magic. If you do rituals with the moon, this is a gem you want.
If you've got a burglar in your house, you can just throw it at them.
And look at this window. There's like a natural window that you can look within. Magical. I just think when she saw it, she said, "Oh, should I spend the money?" I said, "You'll never find another exactly like it." And that's the truth with gemstones. When you find something, okay, that talks to you, listen to it. And I find many times that if a gem is meant to go home with you, it ends up being an affordable price. We thought this was going to be a lot more money, but she got it at a very good price. And the lady was so kind, even gave her the stand from the store. She said, "Oh, I don't know if the stand goes with it, but we'll put it in for you."
It didn't work when we put it on the windowsill. We caught a dog's face in the, when we took a picture of it.
Yeah, and when she first put it up, we saw a face of a dog come through it. It was amazing.
Jeannie said she saw what she thought was Elvin.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Angela Prayer was, "Hey, Angela," she said, "it's an eye of spirit." Well, Cole, I think, would you feel like this is like an eye? It takes you into the spirit.
I'll swap your babs for your Lemurian crystal.
I'm not giving up my Lemurian.
But you said I could have it for Christmas, and you forgot it because it was too heavy.
Well, we'll talk about that. Yeah, she's always trying to get my gems.
You know what? I really want his Lemurian crystal.
She wants my big Lemurian. Do you guys remember my big Lemurian? I don't have it with me because I couldn't
bring it. Doesn't even use it anymore.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Anyways, guys, I just thought you'd like to see it. So, when we talk about gemstones, embrace their magic, bring them into your life, discover what talks to you. You'll be blessed by it.
That's a good idea. Angela Prayer Poem says we should go and buy some new crystals, Bobs, and do a crystal tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I like that idea.
Let's go and get some new crystals.
We'll go get some. We'll go crystal shopping.
When we saw some lovely
ones,
didn't we? In London.
Yeah, we've seen some amazing crystals in London too.
£10,000 for a big giant quartz.
I saw a crystal ball. Well, that was the quartz. One crystal quartz was like this wide.
Rose quartz.
Yeah, and it was $10,000. Well, anyways, was it 15,000? I saw a crystal ball that was 10,000 pounds as well.
Like fighting over this.
And it was literally this big, like this diameter crystal ball, and it looked like, remember the crystal ball out of the Wizard of Oz, that big one, the witch. There was one in a shop, literally, like, but it was real quartz. I tell you, I was drooling. I was like, Cola. I was like, don't bring your credit card out. You're not putting that on your credit card. I'm like, oh, it's 10,000. And at that point, I was so mesmerized by the crystal, like the price tag just disappeared. And I almost put my credit card. Thank God, Cola got me in line.
I just wanted it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, I want that rainbow.
It's amazing. So you know what? But when you go crystal shopping, let me tell you, or gem shopping, set a budget for yourself. Like, when I bought this bracelet, I wasn't going to pay more than $200, and I stuck to it. That way you get what you love, and it's in the price range you can afford, and you don't go bankrupt. This ring, I think I paid 15 pounds for it. It's not expensive. It's not a high dollar ring, but I wasn't going to pay more than, 15 for it. I already decided. And I think the price was like $14.80. So I got it. It's a beautiful ring. By the way, this ring is what's also known as a poison ring. In the old Victorian days, they used to put arsenic in rings. Let's see if I can open it.
Musk used to use musk to poison people as well.
Did they? I didn't know they used musk. The only thing about this ring, it's very hard to open. I can't open it right now, guys. I'll have to show you next week. But anyways, the only thing is there's something wrong with the class. I think I dropped it and did it.
Take that off when you're spanking this later, Bobs.
You didn't hear that.
I had to get one in there.
You didn't hear that. It's a little great. Anyway, that hot chocolate today did something to her. Anyways, I'm so glad you guys are here. And did you have any questions about gems? We have a little time here if you want to ask some questions. Stardust C says, Psychic Bob, why are crystal balls so expensive? Good question. Well, the manufacturing process is very long and arduous. Also, to find quartz crystal that's large enough and clear enough and has the sustainability to be polished in the way that they're polished makes them very expensive and rare, Cool. And even with the glass balls, like I have my crystal, this one actually is real quartz. It's quartz and glass. When they produce crystal balls, about 20 to 30% have flaws and they can't be sold. So they're losing 30% off the top. That's why crystals are expensive.
So which one's better? Bob's crystal ball or my selenite?
Well, I think they're both beautiful. Like this is beautiful, but I also love this.
Mine's Glastonbury, yours is China.
Yeah.
Which one? Mine's got a rock like ball.
So, but anyway, that's one of the reasons why they're expensive, This is the manufacturing process. Yes. Scott from South Carolina has a good question. He says, do the crystal skulls have any special meaning? Scott, many people that have worked with the crystal skulls say that they were predominant in ancient Atlantis and Lemuria. And some of the older ones seem to come from those areas. Because
Mexico, Bob's, because the crystal skulls came from Mexico, because they're still looking for one crystal skull. So
they are in Mexico, but that was the Atlantean influence that brought them to Mexico. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that the crystal skulls, and I actually spent time with one of them, they speak to you. Like there's a spirit that comes through those. That's why they're significant and they're powerful. Now, does every crystal skull speak with spirit? No. But there are some, and when I was in Tennessee one year, I was doing a psychic fair. One of the guys brought a skull, and he said, would you like to spend time with the skull? I said, okay. And he had it in a back room, and I went back there, just all quiet. And I swear the thing talked to me. I was like, this is really a trip. And I had a conversation with the skull. So that's why they're significant, because they have an energy. It's ancient. It comes through them. They're a guide to people.
What did your crystal skull say to you about? Would you like a hot dog?
No, it didn't tell me about. I wish it had given me advice. It should have given me a prophecy that said, in the future, you'll go to London and be stolen $40 for a hot dog. Yes, there's a Shanjit Sherlali says, what is a good gemstone for anxiety and one for positivity? Thanks.
I think Lemurian's really good for my anxiety.
Lemurian, I would agree with Cole. Lemurian crystals calm me down because the Lemurian people are very transcendent. So Lemurian crystal, I definitely recommend for anxiety. Another anxiety healing stone I find is rose quartz.
But I find citruine's not good. Like yellow citrine if you've got anxiety, because that can actually make it worse. Yeah, I would agree with Cole that yellow citrine is not good for if you have anxiety. So avoid that. And also, you might want to explore, let me put it this way. One of the stones that induces anxiety in me is amethyst. And I love amethyst, but I can only wear it short periods of time.
It's a stone that opens psychic energy, but I think because I already oscillated a pretty high frequency, that stone just overstimulates me. And it's funny because I want to wear amethyst, but I can only wear it for like a day or two and then I have to take it off.
I haven't even got a piece of amethyst. It's too much.
Yeah, you find the same thing?
It's far out the energy. It's just too much.
Cola has that
I
experience.
Get shocks off it.
Yeah.
The Marion button on as well.
Yeah, Cola has the same thing. So that's, I don't think we've talked about amethyst. That's interesting.
You'll never find me with a piece of amethyst.
And I love to see it, but I can't wear it, So now in terms of positivity, again, rose quartz opens up feelings of the heart. It'll make you love yourself. It'll make you love others. Another wonderful gemstone I find personally for positivity is it's called chrysocolla. It's a beautiful bluish green stone. That stone just lifts me out of depression.
So does cola?
Yeah, cola does too. But the gemstone is called chrysocolla. I can never say the name of it, but it's like CHRYSOLL. Chrysocolla. I can't even spell. I think somebody here will know what I'm talking about. Chrysocolla. Let me see if I can type it. It's like this.
Angela got it.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
All right, Angela, are you there? Thank you so much. All right, so there it is. I saw a chrysocolla heart the size of my face once in my favorite logo. Thank you. Angela just put it in the chat for us. That stone always uplifts me. So you might want to explore that. Okay, Sanjeet. Thank you so much. A good question. All right. Yay. Thank you, Angela Prayer Poems. That was really great. Chrysocolla looks like tiny earths. I want a sphere of it so badly, but it's so much, even for tiny pieces. I know it's very expensive, By the way, I need to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you one of my stories. It's embarrassing, but I hope it'll be kept amongst us. So one time I had a client call me for a reading. And during the reading, I picked up that she needed an emerald to heal her emotions. She'd been through a lot of rough stuff. And I said to her, Spirit keeps putting an emerald in front of me. And I said, I feel like you should have an emerald. And she says, oh, I've never worn an emerald. That sounds lovely. I'll explore that. Well, I didn't realize, I did realize, but I didn't think about this lady that I read for at the time. This is like 25 years ago. Was a very wealthy lady. And when I said emerald, now so most of you know you can buy tumbled emeralds for about $10. Okay? Well, that's what I was thinking. She'll buy us a little tumbled emerald stone. Well, she calls me a week later. She says, oh, Bob, I'm so happy with that emerald you suggested. I said, oh, you got one? She said, yes. I went to Tiffany's and I got it on sale for $25,000. I was like, what? Now, she was very wealthy. So for her, $25,000 was like $20 for us. But then I realized I had forgotten to tell her she could buy a $10 emerald and it would work just as well for her. And I never had the heart to tell her. I never had the heart to tell her because I thought she's going to kill me if I tell her the truth. But in her mind, her Tiffany emerald, and it was an amazing emerald, she showed it to me. Big, giant necklace pendant. It was literally $25,000 emerald. Was beautiful. And I said, does that gemstone really work for you? Is it helping you? She said, Bob, it helps me so much. I said, well, there you go. I never had the nerve to tell her she could have bought a $10 emerald. Shh, don't tell anybody I did that. Even psychics kind of forget things sometimes. Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Tribe says, black stones, if it is negative energies, causing you stress. Black stones can remove stress, I would agree. Black tourmaline is good. Black onyx can be good. Obsidian is good. All of those, Angela Purpose says, cut emeralds are so much. Yes, and she bought a beautiful emerald. And I'm so thankful it worked. She said it uplifted her. She felt whole again. So it worked. Thank you, God. But I mean, nowadays when I do readings, I always say, By the way, if you want to get that gemstone, and I do this in every reading where I talk about gems, I always say you can buy a $5 gemstone. See, these cut gems and these bracelets are expensive. These diamonds are expensive, these sapphires, but you don't have to buy the top line cut jewels. All right. They make tumbled version. Most gemstones, you can buy tumbled stones. Why are they tumbled? Tumbled stones are gemstones that aren't perfect enough for cutting, but they're still the authentic gem with the same crystalline structure, the same vibration. And they tumble them. They're not considered high dollar gems because they can't be cut, but they'll do the same thing. So please remember that. Don't go out. Never let a psychic, especially like me, put you in debt telling you to go buy emeralds, okay? Luckily, this lady was very wealthy, and so for her, $25,000 was nothing. But, you know, if I thought to myself, my God, what if she like sold her house to buy a gem because I told her?
I would have got it with 5
You know. Call us at 5 figures. We never do that. Anyway, so yes, Shanji, that's my story is true. I mean, I pray, you know, the lady ended up moving. I actually think she passed away actually now. But it's been several years, but she was an older lady. I don't think she's with us. But I bet when she got to heaven in the spirit world, you know, she was wearing that emerald, you know, because it helped her so much. I hope nobody up there told her she could have bought a $10 emerald. Robin Bossa says, I don't think I would have told her either. Well, yeah, well, she was happy, Robin, and I never told her. But I'd make sure when I do readings today not to mislead people. I don't think I was intentionally misleading. I just wasn't considering. In my mind, I just assumed most people know about stones, and she didn't. That was my mistake, as I say. I just assumed, and I should never assume. Anyways, you live, you learn. She was happy, and it worked perfectly, so thank God. All's well that ends well, you know. Angela Prepper says, I almost gave a toxic family member a bunch of rough tourmaline for Christmas for their energy, but didn't because it looks like coal. Figured it would be taken raw. You know, that's true. You've got to be careful with giving gems to people as well, because everybody's energy is different. And what works for one person may not always work. Now, generally, what they say about the gems, like, you know, rose quartz heal the emotions, you know, emerald will help with the heart, all of that, it is true. But again, remember, there are exceptions to every rule. So you can't just assume. But if you buy a gemstone for somebody as a gift, you know, one of the things you want to do is tune in. I would say bring their picture with you.
You got me a lovely piece for Christmas, didn't you? Did you show everybody?
Which one did I get you?
My Gucci bag.
Hold on. Cola said I got her. I'm just blanking out.
It's inside me bag.
Inside your Gucci bag? This is Cola's Gucci bag. I got her that too. Cola, do you want to look for it? Hold on.
You could have just opened it.
I don't know what I'm looking for, though. You know what I'm looking for.
My crystal you got is.
Oh, that. Yeah. That is a Lemurian. Yeah. Here is the crystal I gave Cola for Christmas. This was out of my collection, one of my Lemurians, but I gave that to her. Some of you have seen me wear this on the show. But she really loved it, and I thought she should have it.
It's just beautiful. And with Lemurian crystal, if you wear too much of it or have too much, it can cause your mind to be like over-acknowledged, and it can bring in nightmares. But that is just a perfect little piece.
Yeah, it's a lovely. So there's a Lemurian
as well.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, that's Cola's.
It makes me hair stand on.
I forgot I gave that to you. I just blanked out on that. Thank you. You know. Angela Prayer Pump says, "Where's Lamb Chop? He didn't get into trouble. He's back there. He just woke up. We kept him in the house all day, you know, because I thought if he gets loose in the Tower Line, he might knock a crown over."
He doesn't want a lamb that goes around getting 5-finger discount anymore. So
no.
He's a Capricorn. I can now keep him.
Oh, no. All right, well, we're still debating
and he's learning how to flip people
off. Thank you, Shanjit says, love your bags and crystals. You know, I treat myself once in a while. This Louis Vuitton bag back here, I've had for many years.
Why don't you show them my new Louis Vuitton
and
bag?
You want to show you? Okay. And then this is I'm not an overly indulgent person. I live with someone, but this is my newest Gucci bag. I did give this to myself before coming to Europe.
He doesn't like it, and he says I can have it.
Oh, she thinks she's gonna steal it.
It's It's too small for your body.
Is it? I think it's perfect. Do you want them to see your Louis Vuitton bag? All right. Since they're asking. Hold on. Is it in here? Cole and I went to Louis Vuitton here in London. We had a private tour. The funny part is, guys, I forgot to tell you this. I wasn't able to film in the Louis Vuitton store, but the staff recognized me from television. It's like, because I've been on TV shows. It's two staff members come. They said, "We think we know you." I said, "I'm Psychic Bob. I've seen you on TV." Anyways, being recognized was really fun because they gave us a private tour of the VIP suite. Louis Vuitton in London has an upstairs, a private suite that VIPs get invited to. So I got, and Cola we got the private tour of the VIP suite, which is beautiful. All the newest designer clothes. Sometimes they have lunches and parties up there. So next time I'm in London, they told me to stop by and we'll get invited to lunch there. But Cola got a new bag. She got a brand new bag. And she got a Speedy 30 from Louis Vuitton. It's brand new. She just got it a few days ago. Don't throw them. I can't do it right now. Don't throw it. So Lamb Chop's already tried to get in the bag. But she got a new Louis Vuitton bag. So that's going up here. She's got a 30. I have a 35. Anyways, I know we're here talking about gems, but since you asked, that's our bags. And we're looking for a gem for Cola's bag. So, yeah.
With gems in.
So do you like stuff? So fancy. You know what? I don't normally live an extravagant life. Many of you know I live very simply.
I saved up my money.
And Cola saved up her money and said, "You know what? She's going to treat herself." And she said, "Should I get?" I said, "Yes." So Angel Prep says, "Oh, dang, don't let Lamb Chop in there." You know. Shanjit said, "Oh, that's so amazing. Congratulations, Golden Bobs. Beautiful." Angela Prayer says, "A gem for Cola's bag. Calligraphy Jasper." We'll have to explore that one. So do you like stuff? So that's so fancy. I've only been in the Louis Vuitton store in Las Vegas. It's intimidating. You know, so do you like stuff? I hate it when they act snooty. When we first went into Louis Vuitton, till they knew who I was, you know, and this is the thing, you shouldn't have to be somebody. So, yeah. So we went in and they were like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And I said, "We're here to look at some bags." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And they treat us a little. And then when the salespeople recognized it, they told the management, they brought out the VIP treatment for us because they knew me. And so they brought me drinks. They brought us drinks. We got private VIP lunch. They gave us free perfume samples. I mean, it was really nice. But, you know, in a way, I kind of thought if I hadn't been Psychic Bob from television, I wouldn't have probably got that treatment. And it made, you know, luckily they were very nice to Cola. And I told them, I said, "You know, you made my girlfriend's time here very special." And I was going to buy.
Said I was going to make it in the world.
Yeah, and he said the guy that came to us, I told him I was a psychic, and he said, "Could you do a reading for me?" When I stepped into his energy, I said, "You're a psychic." He goes, "Oh my God." He says, "Nobody knows that." I said, "You're a psychic too."
Both at the same time. We said he's got money coming.
And Cole and I gave him a reading. Yeah, it was a really nice experience. So, anyways, you know. So, but you know what? Like, you know, I do think it's terrible. I mean, you know, so do you like stuff? I'm finishing your question here. As nice as it was to be treated by Louis Vuitton, it's, you know, I think it's a shame that they just didn't do that because I was a nice person. They did it because they knew who I was. And I think, well, you know, what about the other people that aren't as well known?
It was nice.
You know, but it was nice. And our salesperson was incredible.
Before we went to Louis Vuitton, I fell in the drain in London.
Yeah, before we went to Louis Vuitton, Cola almost broke her ankle. That was a fated day.
I got soaked, didn't I?
Yeah, I got totally drenched. Angela Prayer says, "It's a brown and black jasper that naturally has rune markings and pictures, and no two are the same. It looks like the divine wrote all over." I got to look that up, Angela. I'm not familiar with it, but I will definitely check that out. There's Shanji, excuse me if I'm saying your name right. Is it Shanjit Sharon Lali? Yes, it's a shame people are like that. I think it's a shame. I think they should be nice to everybody, but they were nice to us in the end. So it turned out well. Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob and Cola Bob. So you guys got the royal treatment in that Louis Vuitton store. Lovely bag.
Marjana says she's got the same necklace as me with the gold pendant, the Mary.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? I'm a big believer in Lemurian crystals. Anyways.
I'm my cousin in England.
Yeah.
If it's 24 karat gold, send it my way.
Yeah. Angela just said, the whole world needs more hugs, more cake, and everyone should be kind to everyone. Share their
and more hot dogs.
No more London hot dogs. Cole said everybody needs more hot dogs. Not London hot dogs. Not Psychic Bob. No more.
Lesson learned, Bob.
Lesson learned. See, guys, this is a lesson for y'all. That even psychics can have an off day and just miss it. I did not tune in. My mistake. I didn't listen. If I had let Fletcher have some sway today instead of just pushing him out of the way, I'd have been $40 richer. But anyways, you live, you learn. Mm-hmm. That's nice. Well, guys, thank you for being here. Listen, we're at our hour. I don't know where the time goes.
Yeah,
we're tired. It's been a full day. We got another full day tomorrow. Now, keep watching because we're going to have more videos. Watch earlier in the day, usually around noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern U.S. time. I put up a video from our day out. Remember, we're in Europe. We're 5 hours ahead. So we start way early, and then I get stuff up by noontime Eastern time. It's evening time here. But and then we have the night show. Now, tomorrow is Friday. We're going to do live psychic readings. So bring your psychic questions and join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It is Friday, right? No, wait, tomorrow's Thursday. I'm sorry. I got my days on. Tomorrow is seance night. See, I got all my days back. Thursday is seance, Friday psychic reading. See, I'm not confused today. So hopefully tomorrow we'll try to do the seance. Hopefully our energy will hold up. But I'm looking forward to it. And I thank you guys for being here. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed talking about gemstones. And hope you got some insight today, Anyways, again, to remind you, if you haven't seen my Tower of London video, go see that. It's in it's a current one in the queue on videos. Because as I said, they split up between live shows and videos, different places now. All right. Thank you, Under the Earth. Under the Earth said, loved it. Thank you. Good night, Robin. Good to see you. Thank you, Michelle. Good to see you. Thank you, Baron.
You have to say thanks,
Bob,
for the hot dogs.
Scott, thank you so much for the hot dogs. I will definitely let you know when I purchase some hot dogs.
I'll take them to the bar and store tomorrow to get
Cola's going to take me to Iceland, I think. That's where they sell them in Britain. And Scott says, I'm getting hungry. Scott, I get hungry after my show when it's late like this. So I brought me a little sandwich today at Marks and Spencer. Oh, you're going to steal
it? No. I'll give you half of my cheese to beat those for half of your sandwich.
Oh, we might do that. That's an exchange. Here we go.
A bottle of Coke.
Okay. Well, we at least got Coca-Cola too. Anyways, guys, I'm so glad you're here. And thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you've had fun today. I had a lot of fun. It's always fun to talk about these mystical things. And by the way, for those of you who are in the Order of the Silver Star, the Wiccan Order, we'll not be having a meeting tomorrow. I know we're a few weeks behind on meetings. Just my schedule is really maxed out now because I'm doing private readings and traveling and trying to get the show out. So there'll be no. Yeah. So for those of you in the Silver Star, we will get back to a regular schedule. But right now, while I'm traveling, it's going to be off. So I hope nobody's upset with me. But I want to say thank you for being here. You guys rock. You always make my day. So remember to bring the magic of gems into your lives and be blessed. All right. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. We'll have video of our day and then hopefully seance tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. And I love you all. Blessings to you all. Good night.